I hope you're having an amazing day. My name is Colin. In this video, we'll have a look at the crypto news of today. Bitcoin is down below $40,000 and we're back in extreme fear. Nothing in this video is financial advice. It is for entertainment purposes only. What is going on? We were doing so well during a small stabilization period, but now it appears that when Bitcoin is basically moving towards that back 36K range where we were before, we met the resistance and went back up. There might be some volatility or some heavy volatility on the way down, right? We're now close to 40K. We're just under 40K at the moment, and we're back into extreme fear. So last month we had extreme fear. Last week we had fear. Yesterday there was fear, but you can definitely see the number going down where the index was nearing neutral territory last week, at least so it appears. We're now back into extreme fear, which is obviously going to make for some amazing buy opportunities, but also might expose you to a terrible amount of risk. If we refresh, we're still at the same level, and I will keep refreshing throughout this video. The 40K level is obviously not maintained as it's already trading below the 40K right now. Might make some interesting volatility. Of course, we gotta take some things into consideration. Ethereum is down as well as of the same pattern, which makes the NFT market a lot more attractive. If Ethereum was trading at 3,200 just a day or two ago, and right now is trading at 2,700, which means, let's say, about a 10-15% difference, right? This creates for a good opportunity because it might pump again today or not. So the NFTs are obviously same Ethereum value, less numeric dollar value, which makes it attractive to buy NFTs right now if that is something that you are interested in. If we have a look at the top 100 coins in general, everything basically apart from one or two and the stable coins is down, right? Everything is in the red. Specifically, when we look at the 24 hours, the last 24 hours time frame, and of course the last 7-day time frame, we can definitely see some bigger problems there with the longevity of our so-called recovery run, right? Because it's not really recovering, it's kind of declining at this point again over the last 7 days. So definitely extremely volatile, definitely not much to say at this point. Nobody can foresee what the market's going to do. There is some tension. I do not like the Western news specifically. There's Western propaganda, there's Russian propaganda, but what I care about is that I have a lot of employees in the eastern part of Ukraine and they are getting ready to fight, right? So I have some direct intel. I don't need to follow the news because I speak on the phone with them. But yes, it's true. There are many tanks being deployed. There are many aircrafts being stationed. Definitely have a read on what's going on. I have a personal opinion about this whole thing, which doesn't matter here. I don't give a fuck about your opinion either on this political matter, whether you're Russian or from the US or anybody involved. I think this is something that the US should stay out of, but that's something for a whole different topic. This will definitely have problems. If the war escalates, right, they're calling up people from the reserve to fight in the army in the eastern part of Ukraine. So the separatists or whatever pro-Russian rebels fighting against the Ukrainian army. If that escalates, obviously Russia will respond to back up its people. Right? When we're looking at the overall crypto market, this will obviously have an effect. When people get scared, look back on 40K. When people get scared, there will be a linear downward trend that will get even worse because the fear of economic damage will become more severe. I think if the Russian conflict escalates, we'll have a short-term dump, but long-term that will be a bullish effect for the crypto space in general, as I think that economic destabilization of economic systems and power will leverage more opportunity, especially in those regions, for crypto adoption, right? Because you don't need banks, you don't need nothing like that, and you can still move your money around. However, that's all yet to be seen. It's very much unknown, but do take that into consideration. When we look at Imposters, back to the normal news, they are listening to the audience. So Elliot did host a Twitter live Q&A, and they're basically saying, well, the mint price is now to be announced, whether that is going to be in Super or Ethereum, whether the whitelist, right? They made some changes. During the whitelist sale, you can purchase with Ethereum or Super, right? So they already added that difference, but the price is still to be announced. They're still arguing over it. So I think they're quite spontaneous in terms of reacting with a proper can-do fix attitude towards the audience. There's about 16 days, so they definitely do have time to make those changes. And I really like that Elliot did go into detail on what this actually means, because I was reading this and I was like, man, this is fucking garbage, right? I don't give a fuck how much you hype this. It makes no sense. So he did explain what the timeline looks like and how it would work. And that gave me a better understanding of what he's trying to do. And in general, what this game is actually about, because his explanation of a social deduction game, I don't know what that means, but apparently it's like murder mystery, right? So there's a group of people and one guy is killing everybody and you need to play games to figure out who is killing everybody. It sounds super fun. I'm not really much of a social person, no shit. So I like to play games alone, usually, when I'm playing a video game, which is hardly ever. However, I can see that there's definitely opportunity for mass adoption with these styles of games. So that's a little update on Imposters. When we go to the Launchpads, there is like some extreme bullish buying opportunity. I did exit my super farm, which I'm really glad that I did. I did exit at $1.18. So almost on the highest high for this week. I exited, about here, right? So yeah. And now it's all the way down again. So I got in at 80 cents. So it's almost back at where I got in. Took some small profit basically off that announcement, which was turned out to be a good trade, right? Didn't make a lot of money, made like I think $600 or $800, but it's better than losing money. Specifically during the market right now. Cetify did announce that tomorrow it's making another snapshot for the actual S-Fund NFT airdrop that they're doing. So there might be a little bit of an upward trend, just like we see here, or not as much of a drop if Bitcoin decides to slide more. If we look at the Bitcoin dominance, you can definitely see it's significant, right? The entire market losing value, Bitcoin dominance becoming more severe at about 42% right now. Other than that, I mean, as I said many times before, now you have a good opportunity to entry into Launchpads because everything is super low. Right? So if you have been considering like what should I join, more of a longer term play, definitely. There are some extremely big opportunities, with Digits Club. Just to announce Digits Club, we are doing the mint on Monday. If you're not on the whitelist, basically today is your last opportunity. Join the Discord through the link in the description. Get whitelisted for the mint because it's a whitelist only event. And we signed Unix Gaming as a partner and obviously AnyPad, and we're announcing a lot more partners in the near future. AnyPad, obviously, look at that downward trend. Of course, the entire market is down, all the launchpads are down, but if you are not on AnyPad and you would like to get on AnyPad, in my opinion, right now is an amazing entry point, right? 1.4 cents. They're coming with a new website. I don't think it's live yet. They're coming with staking. It's not live yet. So definitely an amazing opportunity right here. I might even consider buying some just to flip it, right? Because I think if I would buy, let's say, $5,000 worth of AnyPad right now, on the next pump that Bitcoin does, will be like back to 3 cents, because that's usually around the level where it's at, right? You can definitely see the linear downward trend, but 3 cents, 2.4 cents, 2.5 cents would be fine. Put in $5,000, make about $2,000 in just a couple of days. That might be an interesting day trade, swing trade to consider, right? AnyPad right here. The other launch pads that I have joined during the bearish market is Unix. I don't think Unix is the best one to join right now. So if we look at the last 7 days, right, maybe last month, yeah, and then just zoom in after the downward trend. So I got in on 19, it almost reached 30, and now it's a little bit down again. So Unix is definitely a gamble, I would say, on the entry right now. It could go down more if the market turns more bearish. It could also hold resistance right here and then go in an upward trend, and you might miss it again, right? If I were you, in my opinion, I would wait a little bit because I think it will come down a little bit more. If you look at this run, 18 and a half all the way to 30 in about 1 week, right? Obviously the Digits Club partnership was responsible for that push when I made my entry. So the tokens were about $20,000. I think another 20, 30 Digits Club members also did the same thing, and basically we pushed the price up, and now it's coming down a little, and we've already all staked our tokens. So definitely Unix interesting, but maybe not for right now until it comes down a little bit. Other than that, let's have a look at Firestarter, which I haven't checked in a while. Again, below 50 cents. So it did pump a little bit towards 70 cents, and I thought I had missed out, but again, it's down 48 cents right now. So definitely in the buying region that I would consider. However, with Bitcoin so volatile currently, I'm going to pass. I now have Unix maxed out, I have Anypad maxed out, and I have some partners coming up potentially with announcements very soon for Digits Club that obviously I would also want to support. But yeah, Firestarter looking at a really interesting entry point right now. Very big potential, I would say, for the longer term. I do like the Launchpad. I do like how active they are and everything. So definitely something to consider. In general, something like Paid Network, obviously, look at the last 3 months. But this is basically the chart for every single Launchpad, right? Definitely select your favorite, what you have been looking at for the last couple of months, and you got to make an entry at some point. I think the worst thing you can do is make no entry at all, wait for the lowest low, and then miss out when the market reverses. When does the market reverse? Today, tomorrow? I don't think so, but usually whatever happens with these bearish patterns, that before you know it, it's bullish again and you missed out, right? And at that point, you're basically going from 50 cents to 60 cents. Oh, it pumped a little bit. Let me wait a little bit more. And before you know it, it's $1 and you've missed the train. You need to wait another year or 2 years before that opportunity might come again, right? So we always want the lowest low. A good example is my cryo war. Everybody keeps asking me about my cryo war. I'm not selling, I'm not buying cryo war. I bought cryo war at $1. Oh my God, you lost 65%. Yeah, I know, but I had to take an entry at some point. So I took the entry at $1, right? It has lost more of its value, but it was already going down. And I know when I bought it, I said I'm gonna hold for 6 to 12 months. It has been about a month, right? So we have between 5 and 11 months left of holding this token. I think we'll be okay unless we enter like a super bearish market. But that is something to consider. You can never buy the lowest low because at some point you'll be too late and have missed out. And if you're going to hold it anyway, I'm not saying like day trade flips or nothing like that. Definitely don't buy on the pumps or whatever. Do take everything into consideration. But if you want to invest into like a long-term project, like for example VeChain, like we have right here, right? I don't assume anybody would buy VeChain to flip it in the next 2 days, right? You would in generally, like, unless you have some insider information, you would usually buy these top 100 coins to hold for a while, right? You believe in the project, the longevity that it has. Then in general, I would say it doesn't make sense to keep waiting with your entries. When you see the market is fearful, I think at some point you have to make an entry, so do so, right? When we look at the crypto gaming, definitely a lot of juicy opportunities. So I have been patient with my entries in terms of what is going to happen with, let's have a quick look at Bitcoin, if anything is happening. Nope, still stable-ish. But we can definitely see the market down. It's not as bloody yet as I would like to see it, right? I would like to see some 20-30% lows, but Vulcan is obviously always a good indicator of how the crypto gaming market is moving. So when we look at the last month, we definitely haven't seen the low, right? It's reversing the pattern right now, but it did so as well a couple of days ago, and again up it went. So we're definitely influenced by the news and the propaganda going around to see how this is going to unfold. But a good entry would definitely be between, I would say, $6 and $8 would probably be a great entry, and I will make a significant entry at that point. So if Falcon reaches $6 to $8, I'll probably push in $50,000 and I will flip it, right? So I'll just be patient for like a week to 2 months, depending on how the market moves, and that would be like a $50,000 cash grab, kind of, if everything goes well. Obviously a little bit of a gamble, but no risk, no reward without risk, right? Then when we look at other coins that I'm interested in, Wild World I'm quite interested in, but it's not really going down that much. Mines of the Lania, it pumped on Becker's announcement, it's down again with the same flow. Veracity had a huge pump right here, but it's down again. So basically the pattern overall is kind of similar to all of these coins, right? And I'm really looking for like the 20-25%, so GameFi 25% in the red. But that's not really the game that I'm looking for, right? Or the style. So Gods Unchained, interesting, 22% down, 23% down on Sidus Heroes. And I think especially these long-term projects like Sidus Heroes, like 1 to 5 year roadmap, that definitely has a lot of opportunity. 30% down for the long-term recovery when it does happen. Soul Chicks, 2.2 cent, 27% down, exactly as I called it. After the vesting, it will go to 2 cents. It just, I think I'm not a genius for figuring that one out. Everybody with some fucking common sense would be able to do that. Legends of Fantasy Wars, the only one that's up a little bit, but definitely not significant. So there's definitely a lot of buying opportunities, but you have to find, how would we call it, the resistance of emotional damage, right? Look at this chart, crazy. There's not that much volume, that's why. So basically what you have to do is you have to control your emotions, right? Because the main principle of investing, or like one of the main principles, is buying when others are fearful, and they're definitely fearful right now, right? That is when the most significant gains are made. That's also where the most degen gains are, or plays are executed in the crypto space, right? So you might dump in, I don't know, $10,000 on a coin and the market goes down even more. It's definitely not as predictable as any stock market, which is also not predictable. But this is still crypto, right? It's what you have to realize. There's like some science to it. There's also definitely the opposite of science, whatever that is, right? Just hype, chaos in general is extremely volatile right now. And that is something I want you to consider when making your estimates, when making your calculations, short-term or long-term plays. One thing that I think is very clear, the Launchpads have an insane opportunity right now, right? They're extremely affordable, and there might be currently or coming up when Bitcoin goes towards, when it comes down from 40K to like 38, 36K, there will definitely be some insane micro cap or low cap gaming opportunities, which I will obviously share on this channel. But first, on Monday, we're going to mint the next round of the Digits Club NFTs. Crazy perks, crazy partnerships. We have secured the first allocation round as well. No staking requirement of any Launchpad coins. We are going to get our partners, our users, allocation inside the Digits Club. So if you are not a member, join through the links in the description below, get whitelisted, mint an NFT, and get allocation. That's how we're going to do this. That's everything for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.